Beloved heart, I invite you to sign up to my mailing list, and as a result of signing up, you will get a free gift. It's a 5D rebalance tune up of all these chakras, and chakras are my specialty. So I would love to gift you with this transmission that is filled with light language and codes to help you stay balanced and tuned up during these increased frequencies of energy of this ascension, this new earth frequency. So check out the links in the notes of this show. And I look forward to connecting with you. I am sending you love.
This is the transfiguration of the new you.
Hello, beloved. Welcome back to another episode. I'm Monica Bermudez. I'm your host for your podcast, Ascended Earth. And we are going to talk about the Lionsgate 2025. This is like my most favorite topic to talk about every single year. It's like a whole tradition. I would consider this to be like a holiday for star seeds and galactics and light workers and so forth. Equivalent to like, I would say this is like the more celebrated, uh, is more exciting than Christmas to me. So it's like Christmas in August, right? For me. So, Lionsgate 2025, right? The portal of infinite power, DNA awakening, and quantum wealth. I want to get into why it's so unique to 2025, but also explain what it is as well. Um, so, welcome to a powerful and timely episode where we dive into the cosmic fire of 2025 Lionsgate Portal, one of the most charged and multi layered and transformative energetic alignments we've experienced in years. And this year's portal is unlike any other, intensified by five planets in retrograde, Chiron, which is the wounded healer, is also in retrograde, and the Schumann Resonance spikes that have been occurring like almost every single day. And for those who follow the Schumann Resonance chart, you'll see that there is a lot of whiteout, white color energy in the chart, which is an indication of higher intensity, a frequency, a pulsating energy, and vibration. And so the numerological and vibrational significance of August 8th, which is 8-8, we have double eights going on in that in the numbers. And this year, it's on Friday, which is associated to the Venus energy. And Venus energy is also about our wealth. And that's a whole other story behind why Venus is so associated to wealth. And I'll get into some of that as well here. Venus really equals to value, magnetism, and receptivity. Venus governs what we value, not just in material things, but in ourselves, our relationships, our time, and our worth. True wealth begins with what we believe we are worthy of receiving, right? And there's so much of that going on right now that is playing out where so many of us do lack some of this unworthiness, and which stems from low self-esteem and um, a low self-image, of how we view ourselves that are based on old patterns or belief systems that we may have grown up with, through our experience with our families, and how we saw our parents growing up with association to wealth and how it was perceived. But it's also based on accumulation of ancestry patterning, I would say. And so there's a lot of that that's as well coming up too. So Venus teaches us that you don't chase wealth, you magnetize it. Wealth flows where there's pleasure, alignment, and receptivity. You are the embodiment of value, not a seeker of it. So Venus rules the divine feminine principle of receiving, and wealth is deeply connected to your ability to open and receive without resistance. And remember that wealth also includes an infinite amount of creativity. So it's not just the money association, but it's an association to so many things and so many aspects in our life. And creativity is one of those big ones. It's a flow of creativities, of having all these great ideas for projects, our new adventures, new avenues of ways to create ways of service. If you are going into like your own soul purpose mission, right, you may be having like all these creative ideas and ways to like help others and yourself as well, if that is what you are being called to from your soul. So Friday is associated to Venus Day, which is like a wealth frequency. In many traditions, Friday was called Freya, or Venus, which is a day that aligns with abundance, love, and blessings. It's an energetically charged day to call in prosperity, indulge in beauty or pleasure, receive insight around love, value, and creative flow. That's why Lionsgate 2025, falling on Friday, is especially powerful. It's a double activation of infinite abundance and Venusian frequency. This isn't just a portal, it's a cosmic course correction and a quantum initiation. And today I'll be sharing what the Lionsgate is, what makes the Lionsgate so unique, and the three top keys to understand and work with this year's energies, and how to prepare and align with your highest soul frequency. So first of all, what is the Lionsgate, right? What is the whole hype behind it? The Lionsgate Portal is a powerful annual energetic alignment that occurs each year between um, the time frame of July 26th to like August 12th, with the peaking in its heightened energy on August 8th, which is 8/8. And I feel like these dates may actually vary every year. And I'll get into why, that is. But this portal opens when the sun is in Leo, because right now we're in the zodiac sign of Leo. And so that's what is meant by when they say the sun is in Leo. So based on your own sun zodiac sign, that is how, the astrologers describe it. And so this aligns with the rising of Sirius, which is the brightest star in the sky. And it has been long revered by many ancient civilizations like the Egyptians and the Mayans as a source of higher consciousness, divine wisdom, and galactic connection. And Sirius was actually seen as a spiritual sun to the ancient. Every year, it is a major celestial event. It is visible just before sunrise after having hidden behind the sun's light for several weeks. And Sirius, is not just a planet. I mean, it just has so much significance. There is a lot of the planets, within the universe do have an influence on us as, all of us, because we're all intertwined within this quantum entanglement of energies. And so we all have that connection with the different planets and so forth. And Sirius is known to be the inhabitant of many lion beings as well. And I will attest that I have seen them. I clairvoyantly saw them. I had a very strong vision of them, and I really didn't think anything of it before. Whenever I would look at the pictures at the temples, at the ancient Egyptians, where you had like all these like half lion, half human. So they were like humanoid looking. Um, and I would often look at the pictures in these temples that you would see at the pyramids and so forth. I didn't really think anything of it. I just thought they were just drawing them just to draw it. So it didn't occur to me that maybe they're actually drawing what they actually look like when they used to be a part of us here on Earth, when everything was very open as far as our contact with our galactic friends and beings, our star beings, which is a whole other thing because we are now coming back, returning to that, or that reunion of what once was. So a lot of the images that we see in those temples, in those pyramids for Egypt, are actually true, that they actually did exist. And so in 2019, I had a uh, a strong experience, like a mystical experience where it's almost like I went into this like astral teleportation. And the first one to greet me, as I saw very clearly, and very clearly in my clairvoyance, was this humanoid lion being. And so he felt very familiar to me, like someone that I knew, who greeted me very much. And I really felt that he was from Sirius. And so there were a lot of the Sirius, why there's so many lion beings. There's some other beings as well. It's not just the lion beings, but a lot of them do have connections to Lyra as well, or Lyra. When, after the galactic wars that occurred many eons ago, a lot of the Lyrans fled to other planets, and one of them was Sirius. So I feel that's why there's a colony there in Sirius as well. So that is, to go off on a little bit of a a tangent there for some explanation about Sirius, a little more. Um, we, get to see it sometimes, in the sky, and it's around this time that we have that, that we see it. So Sirius, it's not always visible in the sky for part of the year, and it travels behind the sun from, from an Earth's perspective. So once it emerges from the solar glare, it becomes visible just before sunrise, and this is known as heliacal rising. So in most places in the northern hemisphere, the heliacal rising of Sirius happens around that time, starting July 26th, which is typically what is marked as the opening of the Lionsgate Portal.
Unlock your limitless potential with the monthly multiversal circle of creation. This sacred quantum manifestation ritual will awaken your inner power and connect you to the successful versions of yourself across the multiverse. Clear blocks, amplify your creative energy, and set powerful intentions for abundance, love, and possibilities. Activate your galactic aspects, recalibrate your nervous system, and manifest your dreams with cosmic clarity. Available in person and via Zoom. Join us for this transformative experience today.
So, as I mentioned, I do feel like some of these dates may vary. And I do feel that it does have connections to the 7/7 portal of July 7th. So somewhere around there, there is a bit of a soul recalibration that is happening as well before we jump into the August 8th Lionsgate. And all of these are sequence of ascension codes, working together for greater activation, that we're receiving during this time frame of July and August. And so, this energy, this whole energy, everything corresponds to the entire planet Earth. So it's not just associated to the Northern Hemisphere, just to clarify. So the portal peaks, at its highest on August 8th when, you have Leo, Sun energy, and Sirius influence are in full alignment. And this is what I call a divine alignment. So why do we link it with Lionsgate? I believe I touched on it, but I just want to like summarize a little more on this. Because of this heliacal rising of Sirius, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's spelled Heliacal, plus the sun in Leo, it equals to the Lionsgate. So it is like this very unique cosmic alignment. Were Leo, which is, Leo is associated to the lion. So this, is very representative, symbolical of like our heart activation, our courage, and our divine leadership. And Sirius, energy brings in this higher consciousness, a star wisdom, and soul memory. And then when you have the numerology of 8/8, it opens up this abundance and DNA light code, around that as well. So it's a mixture of many energies. So that combination creates, this Lionsgate portal, a sacred time of multidimensional upgrades, manifestation, acceleration, soul aligned expansion. And so the alignment of Earth, the Sun, the Sirius creates an energetic gateway that allows these higher frequencies of light and DNA activations and multidimensional downloads that to flood our planet and our individual energy fields as well. So, why is it called Lionsgate? And just to summarize that, because the sun is in Leo, zodiac sign represented by the lion, symbol of courage, sovereignty, and heart center power and radiant leadership. This Leo energy invites us, though, to step fully into our divine power, lead with the heart and soul, reclaim our creative sovereignty, and activate our inner light and our soul gifts. In the numerology of 8-8, the peak of the portal on August 8th, a powerful numerological code, 8 represents infinity, abundance, soul mastery, and energetic balance. And so when you turn it sideways, this represents, it resembles like an infinity sign, but it also has like this DNA strand look to it. So it symbolizes the spiritual evolution and encoded wisdom. So the double eight amplifies manifestation, wealth, alignment, and the activation of our higher self timelines. And I would say that it's also associated to Christ consciousness energy. And so that is, a whole other topic as well. But I do feel there is a lot of that as well that is occurring too, which is, part of our ascension energy, our ascension power, our ascension mastery that we're all, going into with all of these portals and activations, and most of all for like 2025, which if you add up the numbers, it equals 9, which is a year of completion, right? So we're really completing certain cycles and everything is just so compressed, all at once at a very quantum speed, but it's compressing like several lifetimes of like us learning through these, like through these many human lifetimes. We're all compressing it all within like these months and days, and sometimes it feels like hours. And so, in a way, though, that's why, the time has been moving a lot faster as well. And science is also showing this in a lot of their evidence. They're seeing that time is really moving fast. And I mean, just this whole week of, I really didn't really feel the week at all. It just felt like 2 days for me. And so that's really where, the speed of time is really moving much faster. And I feel that it will accelerate even more after the Lionsgate because it is like a big portal of like manifestation and, all of these like timeline activations and movements and so forth. So, what happens during the Lionsgate? During this time, you may experience an increased intuition. Dreams are much more vivid and maybe an increased amount of synchronicities. And I definitely have been experiencing a lot of this myself. But it also may bring up some emotional releases or soul breakthroughs, like an aha moment of something. Timeline shifts, of course, manifestation accelerations, which is why it's so important to really be clear on your intentions and what you're really feeding yourself. So if you have certain affirmations right now that you are, noticing, but they're not, they're self-sabotaging type affirmations, then it start to really start rethinking about what affirmations and declarations or proclamations you want to make to yourself during this time that you have this energy or this mixture of energy coming together like this is a perfect time for it to set the tone, to rewire yourself, to reset yourself. And the retrograde energies are also all about the reset energy and reinvention as well. So physical symptoms like exhaustion or light sensitivity from higher frequency downloads, and there's a sense of remembering who you truly are beyond this incarnation. And so why is 2025 Lionsgate so unique? So we'll get into this now a little deeper about this. First of all, this is like a cosmic compression, right? And plus DNA expansion. With 5 planets and Chiron retrograde, this Lionsgate doesn't just open a portal outward, it opens one inward. It's about going deep into your soul's coding, releasing past patterns, and reclaiming multidimensional fragments of self. The number 8, the symbol of infinity, also mirrors the double helix of DNA, reminding us of our intergalactic ancestry and quantum potential. Schumann resonance, whiteouts, we've been seeing the charts, equals a frequency flush. The Earth's heartbeat is surging, and these whiteouts are not random. They signal the new light codes and plasma frequencies are being integrated into our nervous system and light body, which is why so many people may feel on edge as well. Because there is a whole nervous system that just, is going through this whole recalibration. And it's so important to get some rest, to get, a reset moment, and to do grounding as well. And so many may be feeling it physically, such as exhaustion, headaches, time distortions. And I've been seeing a lot of time distortions myself, emotional waves, and it's your system being rewired for higher alignment. And finally, August 8th, which equals Venus Day on Friday, for this year, plus the infinite, gateway, as this year falls on Friday, August 8th, the day of Venus, planet of wealth, beauty, and love. This portal holds a feminine wealth frequency, not just material abundance, but energetic sovereignty, the kind that calls back your power from timelines, trauma loops, and collective programming. We're not manifesting just from the mind this year or any other time, right? This is, we're doing it from an entire soul field, from the quantum field. So here are the top 3 keys, right, for navigating this Lionsgate 2025. Number 1, you want to reclaim your power leaks. Retrogrades reveal where we've outsourced power. This is your moment to reclaim energy from past relationships, systems, karmic contracts, and inner sabotaging voices. So you can ask yourself, where am I still playing small or deferring my truth? Number 2, activate your DNA and inner wealth codes. Use this time to tune into your energetic body, specifically the heart and the solar plexus, because I do feel that this whole Lionsgate portal also has a deep connection to our solar plexus, because to me, the solar plexus is like the sun. And so when you have, Sirius that is representing like a spiritual sun, and then you have our actual sun, here that is all in alignment with the earth and Sirius, it's really about our heart and solar plexus connection as well. So it is like a love power, like a heart power as well, in connection to our own power center. And so when there is this imbalance of power, right, where, we may fear our own power or fear, the abuse of others, trying to take, overpower us as well, this sometimes creates some of this, imbalance and this conflict within as well. So meditate, right? Receive transmissions and move your body in ways that unlock your remembering. Your wealth is not just money, it's your time, your energy, your presence, your intuition, and your joy. It's a lot, but you can always come back to revisit all of these and re-listen to this information. So, and the last thing is to align with your multidimensional self. As the veil, appears to be thinning, which is actually more of us becoming more aware of our perception and the things that are just, becoming more clear to us, is really what we describe as the veil being thinner. So the timelines are intersecting, they're more active than ever before. You want to use this window to connect with the version of you already living your most expansive expression. So journal with your future self and ask for messages. Be open to cosmic downloads in dreams or synchronicities. So the Lionsgate Portal is open now, and August 8th is the supercharged moment. This is not a time to chase, it is a time to receive, to remember, and to reclaim. So if you're ready to really anchor into your infinite timeline, I invite you to join me for my Lionsgate Master Heart, which is another word that I use for mastermind and masterclass. And this is a sacred virtual transmission and activation ceremony where we'll reclaim our power and wealth from the inside out. So you can't fake this embodiment, but you can activate it. And you'll find the link in this episode note. So, with infinite light and so much lion heart power, I leave you with this message, and I am wishing you a happy Lionsgate portal.
If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to click like, save, and share with others so they can also experience what you just experienced. And stay tuned for some more high vibe episodes. And I'll be connecting with you in the next quantum field. Sending you so much love.